Just this team, just they're close. Um, they are void of distractions so far, and they just play hard. I mean, we had a George, Paul Reed, Drummond lineup out there. I didn't even know who the 4-3-2. I mean, it was just great. They just played hard. It was so good because all of our stuff we don't usually use other than the five, and so they kind of figure out what we're running offensively. That unit was phenomenal. The second unit, it really was. I was really proud of Joel tonight because they trapped him every single time, and instead of getting frustrated, he just kept passing the ball. That was great. They knew we didn't have a lot of our scorers and shooters, and they figured we couldn't make enough shots with the other guys, and we did. So very proud of him. That last year, don't know if that happens, and this year, that's just such great progress.
So with that being said, you're not really concerned when he's out there missing shots, and do you tell him, like, don't worry about it?
No, I could care less. I didn't say one thing. That's fine. Joel's a great player. I'm never going to worry about him or Seth or any of those guys missing shots.
Besides that second unit's play, just what allowed you guys to create the distance?
The grit defensively. Got our hands on a lot of balls, got some deflections, got some easy baskets. Just hung in there. They hit us a couple times in the first quarter, and the second, we just didn't go away. I thought the beginning of the third was huge, got the lead, and once we got the lead, we kept it, which was nice.
What about Max's performance?
He was great. Yeah, he looked at me, and I'm like, what are you looking at me for? I don't have anybody, So you're the youngest. It's his birthday today. I figured use it, and so he did.
What kind of spark did Seth give you in the first quarter?
Oh, man, he was huge, just with his shooting. And then the rest of the game, they overreacted so much to Seth that got George open. I thought that little stretch of George, those 2 threes, was huge, too. That dude gives us so much grit, man. It's just what this team needed. And Drum was great tonight as well. So.
Did you ever talk with Seth saying that, hey, I may need you to step up and be?
No, we don't do it like we just we keep them in their roles and we go to them. Seth knows he's one of our go-to guys, and but no, I don't ever try to tell a guy you need to do more because that means he'll try to do more.
Just going back to George, I think like you said, for the previous 2 games you played him a little bit too much, and then tonight, what would you kind of think of that? Even though he was playing heavy minutes.
Yeah, he was playing great, and sometimes you have to stretch minutes to try to make them up later. We get guys back. We'll be able to get them back down. I don't know if it's going to get better or worse, coming up, so we'll see.
What did you see in Seth? Because I know, like, when you came to coach here, you guys made that trade for him.
Yeah, we played him in the playoffs. I keep saying that year before, and he killed us in pick and roll. In the first Dallas, I think the series was tied 2-2. I don't even remember anymore what it was, but I thought Seth had a huge impact, and it was not his catch and shoot. It was all pick and roll play. And we started trapping them, and they went away from it, thank God. But when we started talking about him, I kept saying, we need another playmaker here. Seth's a playmaker. He's not a shooter. He's a great shooter, but he's a playmaker, and he's done that for us.
But the thing about that is, he was a guy who started, he was a part-time starter, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, you could have said, okay, Seth, I want you to be my 6th or 7th man.
No, we saw him as a starter because of his shooting. And you're playing with Joel Embiid. And we just thought that combination was a good combination. J.J. Redick was a great starter with Joel. And so when you put a shooter like that next to Joel, you become a great shooter.
Go back to Tyrese for a second. There was a moment, I think it was coming out of halftime, where Sam was talking to him, then you came over and you're both talking to him, and it just kind of felt like it captured that you guys are always throwing information.
Yeah, probably too many point guards in that huddle. But he knows, we give him information, we load him up. We try not to overload him overall. But it's been good communication.
You mentioned George's couple of threes at the beginning of the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. It seems that he came in with this look in his eye after the beginning of the fourth quarter timeout. How would you describe that mindset he brought in and the
Yeah,
spirit?
he's a leader. He's got some toughness. He felt like in that quarter, that the end of the quarter, they were physically beating us, and he voiced that, and he came out and led.
Doc, it seems like everybody in the East is having problems, the top contenders. You guys, with all your issues, have been able to keep it together. I know
Yeah.
it's really, really early, but what does that say? What have you seen kind of 30,000 feet as opposed to just being right in there?
Yeah, it's funny with us. We don't know we have problems. We don't talk about them. We don't voice them. Our guys, they really don't. There's no talk about all the stuff. I didn't hear anybody talking about, COVID today. We came to play. We looked around the locker room. We was like, 9 guys, and then Furt comes in after shooting and says he can't play. That was 4 minutes before we're gonna go out on the floor. But it's fun in this group. They just focus on winning. That's all they talked about before the game. Don't know how we're gonna do it. Let's find a way of winning, and our guys have done that.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, gotta go get some Chicago pizza.
Where's your spot?
The closest one.
There.